I'm at the Alan Flusser Trunk Show. I'm here with Jonathan Sigmon. Jonathan, thank you so much.
Good to be here.
For coming down. And whenever we were filming the personal consultation with Alan Flusser, one of the things that I enjoyed seeing was just the great variety of garments that Alan and you guys have designed. Alan Flusser, of course, we all know him as the author of Dressing the Man, but he's also a very talented designer and has come up with a lot of pieces that really depart from just the classic, suit and jacket that, of course, everyone knows about. And so the slack jacket was something that I found particularly interesting, and I think that there were a lot of people in the video that also picked up on the slack jacket. So I thought we'd just talk a little bit more about this really interesting piece that you guys have.
That sounds great.
I'm Kirby Allison, and I love helping the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes. Join me as we explore the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition.
I'm glad you noticed it. I'm glad you liked it. The business is 34 years old at this point. We've been making suits and jackets and the like for over 3 decades. Yeah. And we like really comfortable, really soft clothing. So anything that we can do that brings more of that into the tailored clothing world, we're pretty excited about. And
it really is about the lifestyle. Of course, during the week, a lot of us were wearing a suit and tie. But Alan really kind of preaches the lifestyle aspect of taking that tailored kind of bespoke clothing element, beyond just what you wear to the office. And the slack jacket really, I felt like was a great example of that.
For sure, but it's also, especially these days, something you can wear to the office in a lot of places anyway. Yeah. So wearing it on the weekend and on evenings, it's great because it's knitted, it moves like a sweater, it's extremely comfortable, but with kind of the deformalization of a lot of offices these days, it's really quite suitable and appropriate in a lot of office environments. Well, let's try a couple on, see what you think.
Thank you.
So this was our first and by far the most popular. It's a wool and cotton knit. So if you move your arms like this, it feels like a sweater because it's knitted. It's extremely comfortable, extremely lightweight. It doesn't wrinkle. Alan likes to say that when he goes out to Southampton on the bus and he's wearing it, he takes it off and rolls it up like a pillow, and then when he's done, when he gets there, he just throws it back on, and you would never know because it absolutely does not wrinkle at all. But it's a really interesting piece because it's kind of based on a 50s model. If you look at an old apparel arts catalog from the 1950s, you'll see quite a few things that look roughly similar to this. So it's a little bit different. You could say it's a little bit more casual. We generally cut it with 2 lower slash pockets like this, so it's really, really easy to get your hands in your pockets. Guys need pockets. We don't have a purse or don't have anything like that we're carrying with us. So for your keys, your change, your wallet, even when you're being a little bit more casual, you want to wear a jacket or you want to have something that you can put your things in. So
and the more I wear jackets, the more that I really prefer not to be without something covering my shoulders.
Yeah.
And so this kind of fills that gap where maybe you don't want a formal kind of structured garment. Maybe it's because you're in a more casual office.
Exactly.
Or you're traveling, or you're flying on an airplane. This really kind of fits the bit because it's really quite comfortable. But, I don't really feel like I'm wearing anything.
Right, exactly. It should feel basically like a second shirt or, like I said, like a sweater. It definitely kind of bridges that gap between a traditional tailored clothing piece and just wearing a vest or a regular jacket or something like that.
But it still has a lot of those tailored elements into it because, I've got shirt jackets which, are unlined.
Right.
Don't have, any lining. It's a little bit more difficult to get on. But this still really is a jacket.
We still want you to be able to dress it up when you want to. We want you to... Just like what you're wearing right now, actually, is perfect. Gray pants, a white shirt. If you want to dress it up and wear it with a tie, this is a really great way to do it. But you can also wear it with jeans or chinos or something like that, and a sweater underneath it, a t-shirt. But it's a really great in-between piece that, again, serves the purpose of being extremely comfortable and extremely easy to wear, but still flatters you and makes you look good.
Yeah, and it's cut with square quarters and.
Yeah, so it's a 4-button front. Chest patch, lower slash, a straight front.
So the collar is cut so that you can wear it down. I guess it's a little bit more
it's
a conservative aesthetic. But what I also like about this is, if it's cold or it's the winter time, or if you just want to have a little bit more kind of flair, you can also pop it up and it stands up in a way that a normal jacket collar never would.
Without a doubt. If you're wearing it, a little bit more formal, it's probably better to leave the collar down like that. Just a slightly different kind of interesting piece. But when you're wearing it separately or outside or without a tie, we like to pop the collar and it be just a little bit more casual feeling, like you just threw it on and don't care so much about it.
So what type of client do you make this for?
Sure. So it's only a bespoke piece. can't really work with these knitted cloths in factories, unfortunately, so we only make it in shop in New York. And we make it for people who are, like I said, who are in more casual offices and want something that's just incredibly comfortable that they can throw on, that's a little bit different from the standard jacket. But we also have a lot of folks who are not really working anymore and just want something comfortable to wear on the weekend or at home or when they're traveling especially. It's a wonderful travel piece. So something that can go in a lot of different settings and again just be incredibly comfortable to wear.
Yeah. Wasn't you were saying how you took a trip to Paris and this was the only jacket you took?
Right. Last year actually, for my birthday I went to Paris for about 10 days, took one tailored piece and it was this one. Wore it to nice restaurants, wore it out and about just on the streets, on walking, and it serves pretty much every purpose you can throw at it for a tailored clothing piece.
And so do you do it just in this kind of beautiful knitted navy? I mean, it's kind of a nice little Donegal.
Yeah, that's definitely our most common because it just has a lot of stretch. It's quite lightweight, so you can wear it 3 seasons. You really only wouldn't wear it in the dead of summer, but outside of that, it's really versatile. And it's just incredibly comfortable when you move your arms. But we do have a few other ones that we can take a look at.
I think I'd like to have something like this made. I mean, it's really a gap in my wardrobe.
So this one is a corduroy, but again, it has about 2% elastane in it. So it's not knitted, it's just a regular woven corduroy, woven with elastane.
So heavier than
a little bit heavier, about an ounce, 2 ounces heavier. If you move your arms forward like that, it still does have some of that stretch. Not quite the same, it's not quite the sweater feel, but we want to make things with a little bit of stretch in this model. So it's important that even though we chose a corduroy, we chose one that had a little bit of give to it. So it's a little bit more rustic. It's a really, really beautiful garment. You may not wear it as much in an office as you would that navy one, but
talk
really
about a great kind of fall piece.
Absolutely,
outside,
great with jeans, great with like cavalry twill trousers,
Yeah.
tan pants, anything like that. A really great outdoorsy piece.
And do you just do this in the brown, or do you have other colors of the corduroy?
Whole color range.
Okay.
So if you take it off, we'll take a look at the construction inside. We make these almost completely unconstructed, so unless somebody needs it, a very, very thin or no shoulder pad whatsoever. There's no canvas, and usually just half-lined. So it's a little bit more breathable in the back, a little bit more knockabout. We want it to feel like a sweater, so we don't really want any of that construction inside to give it unnecessary shape.
Yeah, but still done by hand. I mean, it's got
they're all
those bespoke details.
All completely bespoke, made in our workshop.
That's beautiful.
Show you one more. So this one you can't really put on. It's a client's garment. It's going to be a little big. But again, it's the same as that navy one in that it's a knitted fabric. It's a wool and cotton blend. This one's a little bit heavier. This is just the first mock-up. First basted fitting is going to come in soon. With a silk lining, again, only half. Haven't piped the edges yet.
And it's got this two-tone kind of almost reversible.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It is a borderline reversible fabric. You wouldn't put this on the outside, but it's great that when you make something without a full lining, that when you take it off, throw it over a chair or something like that, you see a little bit more visual interest to it. This one's just a little bit heavier. You can see it has this kind of interesting texture in the weave. It's a couple ounces heavier than that navy one, so it's more of a late fall, winter, early spring type of garment.
It still has that stretch to it.
But so much stretch. So it's when you're wearing it, when you're moving, it feels incredibly comfortable.
Yeah, that's great. Let me try the navy one on again. Because this is, again, a kind of a gap that I have in the wardrobe. I've got a lot of really nice formal pieces. I've got a few odd jackets. But I don't really have like kind of a Saturday afternoon, just kind of throw it over something piece.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you noticed that that's really what it's for, because we think it does serve so many purposes. Like I said, just like what you're wearing right now, but also on the weekend.
And without a tie,
Yeah. Going out to dinner, throw it on with a brown crew neck or a charcoal crew neck underneath it. T-shirt, anything like that.
So you can even wear it over a T-shirt or just
without
like a regular, cotton polo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Made with button cuffs.
Yeah, 2 buttons. We do what's called a turn back cuff, so there isn't lining on the bottom 3 inches or so.
Okay.
So if you're wearing a T-shirt, if you're wearing a sweater, and you just want to peel the cuff back to be a little bit more casual, a little bit more sporty, you don't have the lining necessarily that you'd have on a regular jacket.
Okay.
Which we think is pretty interesting. Usually only 2 buttons, obviously working buttonholes. Part of the reason that makes it a little bit more formal or a little bit more like a jacket is these double side vents back here. A traditional shirt jacket generally doesn't have that and generally is a little bit shorter. and it's completely unconstructed. You know, there's nothing in the shoulder, there's no canvas, it's just a cloth and a little bit of lining. So
which probably makes it more difficult to work with.
It's unfortunately, that's why we can only make it bespoke, because it is so difficult to work with. Factories don't want to touch a knitted garment like that.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful piece for those people who are interested in bespoke.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, gosh, yeah, I'd love to have one made up, so let's do one of these.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I think you're going to love it.
Yeah, and you know, this fabric, I mean, the navy, again, you know, if I'm going to have one piece, I always start with kind of the most versatile.
I think that's wise, because not only can you wear it, as we've said before, with a tie, with gray pants like that, you can wear it essentially as an alternative navy blazer, but it's just a great color for you. It's the same conversation we had about that suit, you know, for your coloring. This is a really beautiful navy. It's dark enough that it suits you because you are high contrast, but it has a bit of a pop to it, and it's just a classic color that you can wear in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I think it's smart to choose something that's the most versatile.
Yeah. Great. Well, Jonathan, that's
All right,
exciting.
let's get to it.
Yeah, thank you.